here is a Popeye, right? And even if I extend, it's this. But to strike, I end up dropping or doing something to send it.
But why isn't that also a displacement? I
That's
mean, the only difference between displacement and pushing is how fast you do it and what your intent is.
But I end up setting it up before I go. Yep. Whereas the Popeye is,
I would argue that your displacement should also be that, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you settle. But if I want to displace you, I can do it from here, but this optimizes.
Right. No, but for a strike or more power, I would settle more before I go.
Well, I think you're really splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So look, if I can.
We're trying to compete with Ken.
if I'm just thinking about displacing, right? If I'm just displacing, if I can get more connection and leverage by dropping, why wouldn't I do it?
Yes.
Right?
That's a good
so if I have the choice, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Now the difference is, if I'm so good at connecting, I want to hit, I do it all at once.
Right.
But if I go slow, I still want to do that.
Well, that's the other question, because your fuel is almost a slight down component, because the Popeye is almost, because it's a displacement straight.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But the
Dale,
mechanics
when you
for
were
me.
demonstrating, you're moving your arms. When Alan's doing it, he's using his leg, as you originally said. Two
Yeah,
different things.
But, right, but actually, if you watch and feel him, because he's taller, it's a little easier for him, but he ends up doing this a little bit.
Well,
Even though he's moving, he's sending it down.
That's a difference in intent. Like, so if I want to hit you, I want to hit you in such a way that will fold your structure this way, right? If I want to displace you, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to fold you in half.
That's sort of.
But the body mechanics for me is the same. It feels the same to me.
Yes.
You don't want to be a deficit.
Right? So the only difference is how fast I do it and where the intent is. If I'm focusing, I'm trying to make it sharp, aiming there.
Right.
Versus, I'm just gonna walk you back.
Well, that's where the crux of my question was.
But like
from.
95% of it for me is the same.
Yes.
The body
It
mechanics
is.
is the same.
It is.
Yeah.
Like Tim was saying, it is splitting hairs, but I want to know because it is slightly different for me. But anyway.
Why would it 打手 and 消手 should be the same hand? Really? You know, this is when Chen 打手 to 消手, you know, and it really should not have two different kind of feel.
But you guys, I have a question. What Ken says all the time too. If you send too much, aren't you going to send your opponent away where he might possibly even get the room to kick?
That's why Alan says he's trying to pin you. There's a point, and when all the strikes are that way, it's never that. So we're yeah.
So basically, the sharper you make it, the more uncomfortable you make it for your opponent. Right? If you want to be nice to them, you don't sharpen it. You just let it pass through.
Yes.
But it's still bridge, because here you just connect with the elbow and then bridge him, right?
But that is the
That's,
setup.
yeah, that's invariant. That doesn't change,
Yeah.
right? It's like, what kind of effect do I want on you? If I want to be nice to you, which I do. So I'm just going to think about just passing through. I'm just going to do the gel, right?
Right.
If I want to make you uncomfortable, I want to focus all of my intent in here and kind of collapse you down. So that kind of feels
Different. It's a different energy.
Yeah. Body mechanics for me is the same thing. It's just my intent and then the speed. That's the only difference.
Does this, in your opinion, when you come in closer,
Yeah.
do you feel like you get better displacement, or do you get better? Because I felt like you had better displacement just by walking through.
Yeah, because I was trying to displace you. When I'm hitting you, I'm not trying to displace you.
So you're trying to strike. At that
I'm
point, you're
trying
going
to
to strike. You're
yeah.
going to focus it here.
Yeah. I want to fold you in half.
I get it.